Greetings and welcome back to the gallery. I am the curator and host, Robert Cooper. 2 years ago, when we first entered lockdown and I couldn't figure out what the hell to do a show on, I did a show talking about the photography books that I own. Now, one of the things that I really love to do is to visit used bookstores. I visit used bookstores just about anywhere that I go. I love looking for Black photography books, mainly from the 60s and 70s, but if it's interesting, I'll check out anything from any time period. Now, finding Black photography books is not easy because there's not a whole lot of them out there. But since that episode 2 years ago, I have collected even more Black photography books. And that's what this episode is about, the books that I have collected since that episode. The first book is A Beautiful Ghetto by Devin Allen. Now, if you are unfamiliar with Devin Allen, in 2015, after Freddie Gray was murdered by Baltimore police officers, he became famous for a photo he took during the uprisings. His photo of Black protesters being chased down by the Baltimore police made the front page of Time magazine. With A Beautiful Ghetto, Devin Allen uses his camera to capture the life in Baltimore that the mainstream media and most people outside of Baltimore do not get to see. Everything is captured in this book, from Baltimore's joy to its despair, to the uprising, to the hope for a better future. Picturing resistance, moments and movements of social change from the 1950s to today. As the title suggests, this book features the fight for civil rights beginning in 1954 all the way up till 2019. Every social justice movement is captured in this book, including the fight for racial equality, women's rights, LGBTQ rights, economic rights, anti-war protests, the Occupy Wall Street movement, and also the Black Lives Matter movement. 90 Degrees of Shade, Image and Identity in the West Indies. The images in this book takes a historical look at life in the West Indies. There are photos from Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, the Virgin Islands, Trinidad and Tobago, Guadeloupe, the Bahamas, and there's even photos of West Indian people living in England. Africa State of Mind. Contemporary photography reimagines a continent. This book features a variety of African photographers, some of whom I've mentioned in other episodes of the gallery. In this book, you have photographers such as Michael Tesfaye, Hassan Hajjaj, Athi Patra Ruga, Omar Victor Diop, Mohau Madu Sakeng. And I know I have fucked up some people's names, and I apologize for that. God damn this colonized tongue. This book features everything that I love about African photography, from brightly colored fashion and portraits to fine arts and street photography. Intimate, Nudes by Marc Baptiste. Marc Baptiste, a Haitian-born photographer, is one of my favorite photographers of all time. I featured one of his other nude books called Beautiful in the last episode I did about photography books. Now, there's only so much I can show of this book before the YouTube Gestapo finds out and shuts this episode down. There's a few recognizable names in this book, including Khalees, Gabrielle Union, and Kim Porter, who adorns the cover photo and who recently passed away. May she rest in peace. No Half Steppin', an oral and pictorial history of New York City club, the Latin Quarter, and the birth of hip-hop's golden era, by Claude Paradise Gray and Giuseppe Unet Pipitone. If you don't know by now, I love all things hip-hop, and I am proud to say that I lived through the golden era. As the title suggests, these pictures take place at the infamous Latin Quarter. And if you don't know, the Latin Quarter was the go-to place for hip-hop music and hip-hop culture in the mid-1980s. This book features a plethora of hip-hop artists and DJs who were responsible for the inception of the golden era. People such as Eric B., Kid and Play, MC Shan, Biz Markie, Chris Rock, MC Search from Third Base, Marley Marl, KRS-One, and Grandmaster Flash, amongst many others. And there you have it. Those are the photography books that I have collected in the past 2 years since that last episode of photography books that I have collected. Please go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you will be informed on when I upload new episodes. Since this episode was about photography books that I have collected, in future episodes, I will talk about the photography zines that I myself have created. I'll discuss how I go about coming up with a theme for the zine. Theme for the zine. I like that, it rhymes. How I choose which photos are going into that zine, and also the software and programs and printing companies that I use to produce my photography zines. Don't forget to head over to robertcoopermedia.com. And if you're on Instagram, make sure you follow me at R. Cooper Photography. Also, R. Cooper Shoots Film, where you can see my film photography. And if you don't feel like watching the gallery on YouTube, you can also find it on Instagram at R. Cooper The Gallery. Take care, stay safe, bless and love.